In this session, we set the stage for understanding what business analysis really is and why it plays such a vital role in modern organizations. Business analysis is not just about writing requirements or supporting IT projects. According to the PMI Guide to Business Analysis, it is the disciplined application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to identify business needs, recommend viable solutions, manage requirements, and evaluate results. In other words, it ensures that what we deliver is not only technically correct, but also valuable, aligned with organizational strategy, and responsive to stakeholder expectations. At its core, business analysis creates a bridge between strategy and execution. Organizations succeed when their projects, programs, and portfolios clearly reflect strategic goals, and business analysis is the function that provides this alignment. Without it, we run the risk of building the wrong product, solving the wrong problem, or missing opportunities for value creation. Throughout this module, we will explore 5 critical areas: defining business analysis and its key concepts, understanding the role and competencies of the business analyst, demonstrating how business analysis contributes to business value and strategic alignment, explaining how business analysis integrates with PMI standards such as PMBOK, program management, and portfolio management, and finally, adopting the practitioner mindset, which encourages holistic thinking, stakeholder tailoring, and a focus on needs before jumping to solutions. By the end of this session, you will not only be able to describe these elements, but also recognize how to apply them in your own role, regardless of whether your title is business analyst or not. Remember, as the practice guide emphasizes, business analysis is for everyone. It's a mindset and a practice that can be applied in any environment where problems need solving and opportunities need realizing.
By the end of this session, you will have a clear foundation for understanding the practice of business analysis and its relevance to your role. First, you will be able to define business analysis and explain its key concepts. This includes recognizing that business analysis is not confined to one department or industry, but rather a discipline that guides organizations in identifying needs, recommending solutions, and ensuring measurable value delivery. Second, you will gain an understanding of the role and core competencies of a business analyst. While job titles may differ, the competencies remain consistent, ranging from analytical and problem-solving skills to communication, leadership, and the ability to act as a trusted advisor. Third, you will see how business analysis creates tangible business value and supports strategic alignment. The business analyst's work ensures that every requirement and every solution ties directly to organizational goals, preventing wasted effort and helping organizations achieve better outcomes. Fourth, you will learn how business analysis connects with PMI's broader standards, the PMBOK Guide, Program Management Standard, and Portfolio Management Standard. Business analysis complements project, program, and portfolio management by focusing on the what and why, the needs and value, while those disciplines often focus on how initiatives are delivered. And finally, you will be able to apply elements of the BA practitioner mindset. This mindset encourages holistic thinking, a focus on needs before solutions, and tailoring engagement for different stakeholders. It helps you practice business analysis in a way that is adaptable, relevant, and effective in any context. These outcomes form the learning roadmap for this module, guiding us as we move deeper into the foundations of business analysis.
So, what exactly is business analysis? At its core, business analysis is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to understand business needs, recommend solutions, manage requirements, and evaluate results. In simpler terms, it's about making sure organizations solve the right problems and get the most value out of their initiatives. Let's make that real. Imagine a bank notices long queues in its branches. A quick reaction might be, let's hire more tellers. But a business analyst would dig deeper. The real issue might be that most customers just want to check balances or make simple transfers. In that case, a mobile app upgrade might solve the problem far more effectively than adding staff. Or consider a hospital wanting to improve patient care. Without analysis, they might immediately invest in new medical equipment. But by talking to staff and mapping processes, a business analyst might discover the bigger issue is actually slow patient check-in, which delays treatment. The right solution could be a new digital intake process rather than expensive equipment. That's the value of business analysis. It prevents organizations from jumping straight to solutions without fully understanding the need. It helps align solutions to business objectives, ensuring that time, money, and resources are invested where they will deliver measurable value. So whenever you think of business analysis, remember, it's less about documenting requirements and more about connecting needs to outcomes.
When we talk about business analysis, there are 4 key concepts we always come back to. These are the anchors that help us make sense of any situation. The first one is business needs. A business need is the underlying problem or opportunity an organization wants to address. For example, a company might notice that customer satisfaction scores are dropping. That's the need: improve customer experience. It's not yet the solution, just the recognition that something must change. Next, we have requirements. These are the specific conditions or capabilities that must be in place to meet that need. Think of them as the what behind the solution. For instance, if the need is better customer experience, a requirement might be the system must allow customers to track their orders in real time. Requirements can be at different levels, from broad business goals to very detailed technical features. Then comes the solution. This is the product, service, or process that actually delivers measurable value. It could be a new software application, an improved workflow, or even a change in organizational policy. For example, introducing a self-service portal could be a solution that directly improves the customer experience. Finally, there's product information. This is everything we create and use along the way: documents, process maps, models, backlogs, or even prototypes. It's the evidence and structure that help everyone stay on the same page and guide the development of the solution. Put together, these concepts make sure we're not just jumping to quick fixes. Instead, we clearly understand the need, define the requirements, design the right solution, and support it with solid information. That's how business analysis ensures that organizations deliver outcomes that truly add value.
So, what exactly is the role of a business analyst? The key point is this: a business analyst isn't defined by a job title. It's any individual who performs business analysis, regardless of whether they're officially called BA, project manager, product owner, or even something entirely different. The business analyst's sphere of influence covers 3 main areas: the product, the organization, and the stakeholders. Think about the product first. A BA ensures that what is being built or delivered actually addresses the business need. For example, if a team is designing a new website, the BA helps make sure it's not just visually appealing, but also functional, easy to use, and aligned to customer expectations. Next is the organization. A BA looks beyond just one project or initiative to understand how the solution fits into the bigger picture. For instance, a new HR system might solve immediate payroll issues, but a BA will also check how it integrates with finance, compliance, and reporting processes across the organization. And finally, the stakeholders. This is often where the BA spends the most time. They connect with people across the business, from senior executives to frontline staff, to understand perspectives, clarify needs, and build consensus. For example, if marketing wants one feature and operations want another, the BA helps facilitate discussions to prioritize what delivers the most value overall. In short, the business analyst is the translator between needs and solutions, making sure that business objectives, technical teams, and stakeholders are all aligned. Without this role, organizations risk miscommunication, wasted resources, and solutions that don't deliver the expected value.
Now that we've looked at the role of the business analyst, let's talk about the competencies that make someone effective in that role. Think of these as the toolkit a BA brings to the table. First, analytical skills. This is the ability to think critically, see the bigger system, and solve problems. For example, when customer complaints increase, an analyst doesn't just log the issues, they look for patterns, ask why it's happening, and trace the root cause. Second, expert judgment. A BA needs business acumen and industry knowledge. Let's say you're working in retail, understanding trends like online shopping habits helps you make better recommendations for digital solutions. Third, communication skills. This is more than just writing reports. It's about active listening, facilitating workshops, and tailoring messages. For instance, the way you explain requirements to a software developer will be very different from how you present them to a senior executive. Fourth, personal skills. These are qualities like adaptability, ethics, and objectivity. Projects often change direction. A good BA stays calm, adjusts, and keeps stakeholders focused on the end goal without bias. Fifth, leadership skills. Business analysts often act as change agents. Imagine a team resisting a new system because they're comfortable with the old one. The BA helps negotiate, build trust, and guide people through the change. And finally, tool knowledge. This includes knowing how to use requirements management tools, modeling techniques, or collaboration platforms. For example, using a simple backlog tool or process modeling software can make requirements clear and accessible to everyone. So, being a strong BA isn't about having one skill, it's about combining analysis, judgment, communication, leadership, and tools in a way that brings stakeholders together and drives meaningful results.
One of the most important contributions of business analysis is ensuring that organizations create real business value and that every initiative aligns with strategy. So, what do we mean by business value? At its simplest, it's the net benefit that an initiative delivers when we balance benefits against costs and risks. For example, launching a new mobile app might increase customer satisfaction, but if it costs too much to build and maintain, the value could actually be negative. The BA helps strike that balance. Here's how business analysis makes that contribution. First, we identify business needs before jumping into solutions. This avoids the classic mistake of building the wrong product. Second, we trace requirements all the way from organizational goals down to project deliverables. This ensures that nothing is being built in isolation. Everything is tied back to strategy. Third, we support portfolio, program, and project management by confirming that proposed solutions actually add value and align with the organization's priorities. Let's put this into a simple example. Imagine a company whose strategy is to become more sustainable. A project proposes replacing all office lighting with energy-efficient LEDs. The BA will check, does this support the sustainability strategy? Does the business case show savings in electricity costs? Are there any risks like installation disruption? By connecting the dots, the BA ensures the initiative is both valuable and aligned. In short, business analysis acts as the strategic compass of initiatives. It links business cases to organizational strategy, and it ensures that scarce resources are directed toward the highest value work.
Business analysis doesn't exist in isolation. It's part of the wider family of PMI standards, and it connects directly with project, program, and portfolio management. Let's start with the PMI's project management body of knowledge. Project management, as you know, is about delivering a defined output on time, within budget, and to the right quality. Business analysis complements this by ensuring the right product or service is being delivered in the first place. You could say project management answers how do we deliver, while business analysis answers what should we deliver, and why. Now, at the program level, business analysis helps ensure that multiple related projects all work together to deliver broader business outcomes. For example, a digital transformation program might have separate projects for upgrading systems, training staff, and redesigning processes. Business analysis ties those projects back to the same strategic objectives, ensuring they all contribute to the intended benefits. And at the portfolio level, business analysis supports decision-making about which initiatives to invest in. It helps assess business cases, compare value, and make sure projects and programs are aligned with organizational strategy. For instance, when budgets are tight, business analysis provides the evidence leaders need to choose between competing initiatives. So the relationship is clear: project management focuses on execution, programs focus on benefits, portfolios focus on strategy, and business analysis provides the insights and alignment that make sure each of them is working toward the right outcomes. In short, BA is the glue that connects strategy to execution across PMI's standards.
Now let's talk about something that goes beyond tools and processes: the business analysis practitioner mindset. This is really about how you approach your work as a business analyst. The first element is holistic thinking. A BA doesn't just look at one part of the problem, they step back and see the whole system. For example, if a company wants to improve customer service, a BA won't only focus on the call center scripts. They'll also look at training, processes, and even technology, because all of these interact to shape the customer experience. Next, it's about sticking to the need before solutioning. It's very tempting for organizations to jump straight into solutions. Let's buy new software, or let's launch an app. But a strong BA keeps asking why. Why do we need this change? What problem are we really solving? That discipline ensures we address the right need, not just the loudest request. Third, think of yourself as an organizational detective. Don't settle for the first answer you hear. Validate information, cross-check with different stakeholders, and dig deeper. For instance, if sales are dropping, the first answer might be, our prices are too high. But after investigating, you might discover the real issue is slow delivery times. Another key part is tailoring communication. Not all stakeholders absorb information the same way. Some prefer visuals like process maps, others prefer detailed documents, and some want quick verbal updates. A good BA adapts their style so that everyone is on the same page. And finally, it's about embracing your inner business analyst. Business analysis isn't limited to people with the BA title. Managers, engineers, even teachers often apply the same mindset: looking at needs, exploring options, and making improvements. The more confident and creative you are in using BA techniques, the more value you'll add. So the BA mindset is really about curiosity, discipline, and adaptability. It's what transforms business analysis from a set of tasks into a powerful way of thinking that drives meaningful change.
Let's bring this session to a close by highlighting the key takeaways from the foundations of business analysis. First, we learned that business analysis is about identifying real business needs and ensuring that the solutions we deliver create measurable value. It's not just about requirements, it's about making sure projects and initiatives are aligned with strategy and deliver outcomes that matter. Second, we explored the core concepts: business needs, requirements, solutions, and product information. Together, these give us a shared language and a framework to approach any analysis situation. Third, we discussed the role and competencies of a business analyst. Regardless of job title, anyone who applies business analysis brings value by connecting strategy, products, and stakeholders. And it takes a mix of skills: analytical thinking, communication, leadership, and tool knowledge to be truly effective.
Fourth, we saw how business analysis creates alignment with organizational strategy, programs, and projects. It ensures resources are invested in the right initiatives and that solutions deliver tangible business value. And finally, we talked about the BA practitioner mindset: being holistic, focusing on needs before jumping to solutions, acting like an organizational detective, tailoring communication, and embracing business analysis as a way of thinking that anyone can apply. If you remember just one thing from this session, let it be this: business analysis is the bridge between strategy and execution. It helps organizations avoid wasted effort, deliver the right solutions, and achieve lasting value.